was a hypo, and I'm like, welcome to Movie Night. I am Jared, and today we are discussing James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Hell yeah.
Yep, hell yeah.
Let's get started. So today we are going to discuss this movie. Now, here's the thing. As I was, Robert and I were talking before we went live, and here's the thing about The Suicide Squad. It took me a while to like warm up to this movie. And I'll bring up the problems that I originally had with the movie as we go through it, because a lot of them are like easily like thrown out by the nature of the movie.
Exactly.
So, the thing I want to start off with, this is the movie that is tailor-made to James Gunn's sensibilities. Like,
definitely.
Like, because he has a passion for the Suicide Squad because that's like his favorite DC team. And I'm like, okay, that works. Plus, Robert, this is the team where you can bring in random characters that no one's heard about, and guess what? Everyone just goes with it.
Yeah, because they're meant to be obscure. I mean,
exactly.
This is the team in the comics where they brought in the Grant Morrison Arthur avatar, and they killed him off.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the first part there. So and it's like the obscure characters. I remember at DC Fandom when they were announcing the lineup, I'm like, who the hell is Javelin?
Yep, but that's the joke.
Yeah, exactly. Or like all these other characters, TDK and all these other characters. So there's that. And now the other part. So what you immediately detect is that this movie is definitely more like, for lack of a better term, mature than the other Suicide Squad movie. Like, this is the like, oh my god, this is the R-rated version of the Suicide Squad.
Well, yeah, which probably is why you had a lot of the cursing and everything.
Yeah, and once I figured that out, my problem with it having too much cursing kind of went out the window. The other thing about this that I think is really interesting is so there's one death that I don't like, and I'll get to it when we get there, because I feel like it's a death that wasn't really needed, but we'll get to that point. This is also the first appearance of Peacemaker, the character that will be the bane of my existence going forward. I'm kidding. But so with this movie, they're going into Corto Maltese to like take out what's known as Project Starfish, or like to
which is kind of obvious what it is.
As soon as you know DC lore, you're like, okay, Project Starfish, I see what you're doing there.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Yeah, exactly. So then you get to like, you get the team, which is like, so there are two squads, for lack of a better term. You got Bloodsport, who is basically a more hardcore version of Deadshot. Again, it was a Will Smith scheduling thing, which is why he was replaced with Idris Elba. King Shark, Ratcatcher 2, Harley Quinn, and Peacemaker, obviously, and Polka Dot Man. That's squad one. And then the rest of the heroes are like the characters that you don't really need to worry about because they don't last that long in this movie.
Yeah,
like Mongal. Now, here's the thing. In the beginning of the movie, the beach squad, the main squad, gets wiped out by like the Corto Maltese guards, and you find out that it was a distraction so the real squad can move in stealthily. That's 100% something Waller would do.
Oh yeah, hands down. They're expendable.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, what's up, NJ? I also like in this movie where the like people behind the computers are taking bets on who's gonna die first.
Right, they would. I come on, let's be honest. Anyone in that position would.
Yeah, they so would. So yeah, you see a lot now. Again, the Boomerang dying thing, because Boomerang is one of the characters that dies, and I was like, okay, even though they hint that he could come back, I'm just like, okay, what? I get what he's doing. He's trying to do the whole no one is safe, but the problem is that that's such a trope at this point.
It is like you really, unless you really plan on killing off everyone, that ain't gonna fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Can we agree to that? Can we agree to that?
Yeah, unless there's going to be, let's say, one squad, only one guy survives. Like maybe just Harley Quinn walks away. That's when you tell me no one is safe.
One or two survive. One or two survive then.
but most of the main squad makes it through. So it's like, all right, all right. So there's one. This is not the death that I have the problem with.
Nope.
So the squad and Harley's captured, and I like how they basically replay the whole Harley falls for like a person that has a lot of red flags, and then she's detected. I like that. That's really good.
Yep.
And then NJ says, "Isn't Mongol's sister as strong?"
Yeah, they nerfed her. They nerfed her big time.
Yeah, Robert and I were talking about that because a helicopter crash is not and burning is not. She would walk out of the fire like totally.
It took her brother slamming or punching her head off to kill her.
Yeah. And it's like that's the thing. It's like, look. That's the only part about this where I'm like, okay, if you didn't necessarily have like that powerful to kill him, to like kill her, don't use the character. It's really that simple. I don't know what the problem is here. Anyway, but so the main squad goes out, and I like the rivalry between Peacemaker and Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Can we agree that Gunn isn't good with power levels?
I think
depends on the character.
Here's the thing, NJ. It's one thing to do it in comics where you have that entire history, and most of the time you're not trying to get normies involved.
Yeah,
when you're doing a movie where you're trying to get normal people who don't read comics involved, you're going to have to nerf.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when you have like, I think NJ is referring to Cersei and Weasel.
Okay.
Which NJ, I am on your side on that. I did not like that because that I think is a little too much. Because when Gunn justified it, he says, "Well, Weasel was moving at super speed," and I go, "Where was that shown?"
Exactly, I will agree to that.
I think that was more of just I'm just gonna pull this out of my ass. Here.
Yep.
That's what I think is. But besides that, let's go with this. So continuing on. The thing about this so I'm sorry, my phone was going off. Continue with that. The squad essentially like they discover, hey, Rick Flag's alive, so we're gonna divert you to go save him. And I love the fake out here, where it's like they go into that village, they're murdering everyone. Bloodsport and Peacemaker are trying to one up each other.
Yep.
And then I love where they show up, and Flag is like drinking with the leader of the rebels. It turns out this was the rebel group that we're supposed to save.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, that's funny. I like that a lot. That's funny. And they're like, did you kill everyone? They're like, no. And then the shark just throws up a dead body.
Yep.
I love that. So then they go. So then they decide, okay, let's go say, let's go find the. Let's go save Harley Quinn. No, actually, first they have to find the head of Project Starfish named the Thinker.
Yep. Who is what was his name?
Let me put it this way: he's played by a Doctor Who.
Yep. Simon, I think. Wasn't it? I believe.
No, it was the character, the Thinker, I think.
You're right, the Thinker. You're right.
If it was Simon, we would have been able to see his brain because you're right.
It's the Thinker. You're right. My mistake.
It's all good. So then we get the introduction. We get the thing of Starro. Now the thing about Starro in this is like, for most of this, it's fine. I also like the idea that Gunn added you can't just take the starfish off. You're
dead.
I like that. That's an addition that's not in the comics that I'm like, that makes sense though.
Well, yeah. I mean, I get it. For the sake of a movie, it makes sense.
Yeah, because you're trying to make a giant starfish look threatening. So it's like, what are you going to do? And
you need to have it be that to make sure don't get it on you.
Yeah, exactly. And by NJ asks, is the Thinker a Flash rogue?
Yes, I believe he is.
Yeah, exactly. So continuing on, what you get with the what you get with the Thinker, what you get with what's the word? Okay, they find him, but then they're all captured by by the Corto Maltesians, and then they like cause the cars to crash, and then they escape. The other thing I really like about this, what Gunn does that imitates a comic book, is the chapter titles are like fit into the environment. Like it's out of fire, it's out of like
Yep.
It's out of
I love that. I love that.
I dig that. Gunn is really good at making like the chapter, because this is kind of what he would have put in Superman. He would have had those like title things. But I guess the reason why they took that out is because the test audience felt it just broke up the movie too much.
Which, understandable.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not like it was like so really important. But anyway, so then you get to like, so they go to save Harley, but Harley essentially breaks out by herself. We have like,
Which I love that fight, and I love her hallucinations.
Yeah, the 2 machine guns. She's like, ah! She's like
shooting flowers instead of blood.
And I love where, so they're about to breach the building to get her out. She goes, "Hi guys." And Harley goes, we're coming to save you. And then she goes, "I could go back in if you want to still do it." That was so good.
That's so Harley. That's so Harley.
That's so Harley. Yeah, again, it's like I really dug that. So they start interrogating the Thinker, and I love where they go. You irritate us, you die. He goes, and then Harley goes, "You have vanity license plate, you die. You cough without washing your hands, you die."
They keep going. It's vexing. It's like, but you realize it goes back to like, I'm known to be quite vexing. I'm just on warning.
Yeah, I love that part.
You're right. That's a nod to that, right?
Yeah. It's such a Harley Quinn thing. I love that.
Yeah, I thought that's a nod to the whole "you die."
Yeah, exactly. And then they have this great shot where they all get out of the van, and it's raining, and then it looks like a comic book panel. Yeah. And then I love King Shark just tears someone in half in slow motion.
Oh, King Shark, I love.
Played by Judge Dredd.
Yeah, played by
Dredd.
Played by Sly Stallone.
Yeah, so then so I love where they're planning charges on Jotunheim, and then Shark makes one out of Peacemaker, and he goes, "That looks nothing like me."
Yep.
And remind me, it's Junior. Senior comes in like Peacemaker season 2 and Superman.
Yeah.
So
different actor.
So then they discover what Jotunheim is. It's Starro the Conqueror. And the thing is that they discover that also the government has been the U.S. government funded and stuff. So it was like that's the interesting part about it, because it does factor in. See, this is how you do politics well. It's like, look, of course, any government is going to covertly fund these experiments because they want to create like slave soldiers. So Flag has a conscience, and he's going to like let the press know what's going on. And it turns out Peacemaker was sent on the mission by Waller as a contingency plan in case anyone had like second thoughts. And I go, again,
that morality get the better of them.
Again, that is Amanda Waller through and through. She would so do that. I love it. So
agreed.
So then we get the fight between Peacemaker and Rick Flag Jr., and this is the death I don't like. Rick Flag Jr. dies, even though it's paid off, and they make a point of it in the Peacemaker show, both seasons. I still hate it because Rick Flag was like one of my favorite characters.
Agreed.
So all right. And then he goes to kill Ratcatcher. And then, so this movie is told very non-linearly, which I actually kind of like, where like at this same time as all this is happening, the other team is like putting together all the like charges. And then the building starts to like collapse from Starro. And then Bloodsport just falls down a couple of floors. And then he sees Peacemaker about to kill Ratcatcher, and then we get a payoff to something in the beginning of the movie when Peacemaker says, "I shoot stuff more in the middle." So they shoot, and then you have the visual of the rounds colliding, and then Bloodsport's going like shattering Peacemaker's bullet, and then it hits him in the neck.
Yep. But
Which I'm
me,
like,
he survived. Yep.
yeah, he survived. But overall, again, it's some pretty fun stuff. And then Starro emerges and then starts like taking over people with the starfish, and then he goes
Yep.
and like starts wrecking shop. And then the squad is told to retreat. But I love Economist. There's a freaking kaiju.
Yep. It's a freaking kaiju.
Yeah, I love this. And then the squad grow a conscious and they go to fight Starro. And then Amanda Waller goes full Amanda Waller, goes, I will blow you up unless you get back on target.
Then knocked out.
Yeah, then is knocked out with a golf club, which I find is funny.
Yep.
And then let's see what else do you have there? So then we get the coolest part of Deadshot. So Deadshot's powers in the comics so that he can like reach into portals, I think, and pull out guns and swords and stuff.
Yep.
In this, it's just like small like pieces of his armor that he can take off, and then it'll morph into a gun or like a sword and stuff, which I like.
Realistic.
This is my one problem. This is the one plot hole in the movie that I find is very stupid. If Starro's eye was that vulnerable, as we'll discover, and Bloodshot is supposed to be like a fantastic marksman, why couldn't he hit the giant ass eye in the middle of the creature?
True.
That's the one part where when people criticize this movie, I go, that is a valid criticism, because that is like, I'm sorry, no, that is a plot hole. If you had it where like it's armored a little bit, like there's like an armored eyelid, that'd be one thing. But no, it's just a fleshy eye.
Yep, agreed.
And then Ratcatcher summons all the rats, and then they like save everyone, but not before Polka Dot Man gets squished. Before he goes, I'm a superhero.
Hero! But that's your mom.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And it's showing Bloodsport becoming more of a leader. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. It's like, and then obviously Harley Quinn helps with like the javelin, but and it's like, see, that's the thing about this movie. There are those small moments that it's like, okay, it gets paid off throughout the movie, and I'm like, okay, that works. And then Polka Dot Man is the last guy, is the last squad member to die.
Yeah.
And then
what a shame! What a shame!
Yeah, because he was a cool character.
Great actor too.
Yeah, exactly. So then Ratcatcher summons an army of rats, and they like help against Starro. And it turns out it's like Bloodsport had a fear of rats, and now he's overcoming it. It's like everyone's overcoming their fears.
Yep.
And then they defeat Starro. And then Bloodsport is like, okay, so we own you now, Amanda Waller. If anything happens to us, we're going to expose everything. Like if our heads explode, it'll automatically go on the internet, and you won't be able to escape.
Which explains why then the Suicide Squad gets shut down afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. And then they basically say, hey, this is my last mission. I'm done. You let me go. And I can go see my daughter, and that's it. So that's the movie. And so let me tell you this. All right. So this movie was, again, it's one of the things where I originally didn't like the vulgarity of it and stuff, but here's the thing. That's just the way Suicide Squad comics are. Yeah. Like Suicide Squad is practically made for Black Label R-rated books.
Yep. There's been like a couple of them.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, that's my point there. So it's like, that's why it kind of grew on me with stuff. And it's like, particularly in light of the past two movies that Robert and I have covered.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a breath of fresh air, man.
It is. Because seriously, that was always the big problem. And I'll say this. This is still better than Wonder Woman 84.
Yes, it is.
By light years.
It doesn't take that much to surpass that, but yeah, you are right on that.
Yeah, it's by light years better.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But yeah, but then overall, this was the starting point, of course, for Gunn being part of eventually taking the reins. It's its proving ground, its testing ground.
Yeah. So is it still canon to the DCU? Gunn said parts of the events are canon to the DCU.
Broad stroked.
Like Rick Flag died, and it's like there was an incident in Corto Maltese.
Yeah. Whether or not it's going to be the same actors or not is always going to be up in the air.
Now they could make it if they really wanted to that like like a Starro drone, if you will, escape, so they could still use Starro later
Oh yeah,
on.
yeah. Because that's always how it's at. That's always how it is. You just need one to survive, and boom.
Can you imagine Gunn bringing in Jarro?
That would be up his alley. That would be so up his alley.
Particularly with Batman, so you could have Jarro in a little Robin costume.
Yep, that could be that's so something he would do.
Oh yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's one of those things, and again, so you could say, okay, so this movie did not do well at the box office,
but there was multiple factors. Let's be honest.
This was during COVID and day and date releases, so there is that. There is that too. The day and date releases, I think, really killed it because there were enough. Yeah. Because here's the thing: there were other movies that came out in COVID that cleaned up. So that's why typically I don't take the COVID excuse really that seriously. No. The day and date part is what really screwed it, I think.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. I mean, also adding up to the fact that there hadn't been a Suicide Squad movie for years, and the Suicide Squad has never really been that big of a draw.
Yep.
So it could be that and that's the danger that comes with when you're doing like a more obscure group. I think WB thought because the original Suicide Squad did well monetarily that they had like their version of the Avengers again, that they had multiple teams that we could pull from. But it's
and this time we got the guy the Guardians.
Yeah, exactly. After he got fired from Marvel, but it's like I could definitely see that like there's like a lot that there are creative reasons why this movie didn't do well, but it's like I can kind of see there are arguments on both sides. Let me put it to you that way. There are arguments on both sides.
Agreed.
But yeah, I definitely stand by my statement that this is honestly, I think Gunn would be better off if he let someone else handle the Superman stuff and he just do like Suicide Squad movies or all the obscure movies, because that is his wheelhouse. Look at Guardians.
Yeah, look at Guardians. It definitely is his wheelhouse.
No one even knew what Guardians was before that movie.
Agreed.
Even comic book fans were like, who?
Were they that much?
That's the funny part about like that one scene in Guardians where the dude goes, who? That's like every comic book fans whenever you ask them who the Guardians are pre the movie coming out, they're like, who?
Yeah, they were so niche back then. I mean, you knew about the Abnett landing run, yeah, but that was still niche.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no one really knew like Star-Lord, Gamora, or Groot really were.
Yeah.
And even then, he made some changes, but they were changes that.
Yeah, like Drax, you kind of need it. You kind of need it for Drax.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's like with this. And here's the thing: when Gunn was asked, "Is this a sequel to the David Ayer movie?" he said, "Well, it isn't. It isn't." I get what he's saying because it's like each movie can be taken as an independent Suicide Squad operation.
Yep.
But it's like I think that people were more asking, it's like, do you need to watch the previous one for this? And it's like, you really don't, because okay, there's a team of supervillains. You don't need to know why they were formed.
Harley's one of them.
As long, yeah, it's like okay, so you can, because they explain in the beginning, literally the beginning of the movie, they're like, okay, we took criminals, and if you complete the mission, you get time off your sentence. Done. Okay.
Boom, bada boom.
Yeah, that works. And then it led, obviously, the enduring legacy of this movie is that we get Peacemaker from this, which more or less, again, I enjoyed season 1 more, short of the ending. The ending sucked, but season 2 is way better. And it's, so you got, it's not like this was like a one and done movie. Oh, you also got a creature commando in this movie. Weasel! Yeah.
Weasel! He survived!
And he survived. Yeah, I love where they're like, no one checked if he could swim. I love that. That's really funny.
Again, the humor in this worked.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, again, when you're with you're using you have a guy with guns, a clown girl, a giant shark, a dude that was polka dots, and a weasel go up against a giant starfish.
Exactly.
Enjoy it. Just go with it.
Just go with it. Have fun.
And then Cameron says, most of my knowledge of the Squad was they were a Black Ops team on par with the League and do missions that they never would. Not really on par with the League, though.
Depending on incarnation, I would say.
Yeah, because here's the thing. The Suicide Squad started off when they first showed up in comics before the criminal part as a Black Ops unit in World War II, I think.
Yeah, or that was either that or the Secret Six. No, it was Task Force X as that, yes.
Yeah, and then the Suicide Squad was established. What event was Task Force X?
Oh, Legends.
Legends, yeah. That's also the first appearance of Amanda Waller.
Yep.
Yeah, overall, it was an okay movie, but it made WB abuse the hell out of the Suicide Squad. Well, no, not that one. It was the previous Suicide Squad movie that led to that, because remember, the previous Suicide Squad movie doing so well is why we got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Yeah,
that tricked WB into thinking the Squad was a huge thing.
Yep.
Which they've never been. So, but I'm like, I get when you're looking at it just from a monetary like stake. Okay, we see how that works.
Yep.
But it's like, but see, here's the thing: the Squad can be, if WB does the Squad right, they can like actually nail it.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, again, Gunn is the creative to do it, because again, he gets to use any character he wants. That's like minor obscure. He gets to murder anyone he wants.
Yep, which that gives you all sorts of freedom.
Yeah, and again, I want to emphasize this point. This is the team where it's assumed that some of these characters are going to be obscure characters.
And are going to die.
So it's like, this is 100% his like thing.
His wheelhouse.
Yeah, exactly. So you have that, and it's like, and now let me ask you this, Robert. Do you think it was a good idea for them to shut down the Suicide Squad?
No, it depends. That's a hard one to answer.
Because here's the problem with that. Because when Creature Commandos was released, was like revealed, I was like, okay, so let me get this straight. You shut down the Suicide Squad and then replace them with the Suicide Squad. It's the exact same concept.
I get it in universe. It made sense in universe after the fiasco that was that mission.
Yeah, but then it gets to, it's like,
I think that's the reason why it was done, was because and Gunn probably looked at it and realized in universe there's no way in hell they would keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But it's just, to me, it kind of seemed too much like you're just throwing out a good thing for the sake of a story that you could tell more stories with.
Yeah.
Particularly when you replace them with something that's in concept is the exact same goddamn thing.
That's very true.
That's my one thing. That's the creative decision in Peacemaker that I hate. Because I'm like, what? You're taking that away?
I agree.
But it's like, I get what they're doing. And again, Creature Commandos I genuinely enjoyed. So it wasn't like anything I really hated.
Let me put it this way. I put the Suicide Squad in like the top 5 of the DCEU movies. I think 5.
My top 5. Okay, it's not. It's in my top 10. Let me put it to you that way.
Right.
Because my top 5 is ZSJL, BVS, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman 1, and Aquaman.
Fair enough.
It's just those ones I like. But in the other top 5 is this movie for sure.
Yep.
100%. It's in there. But it's just like, I hate that they got rid of the Suicide Squad. That's the you get the name recognition now, particularly when the name is known so much.
I know.
But it's like, all right, but Cameron says that the Squad should come after the League has formed or a Justice Lord's incident. You could make it even more, you could bring it back, but make it even more top secret. I mean, you could, but NJ says the Squad has overstayed its welcome. Well, remember, they shut it down before Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League even came out.
Exactly.
So it's not. Let me put it this way: if they had shut it down after the game came out, I would agree with you, NJ. But it's just like the idea that like it came out before when the Squad was in the height of their popularity. That just seems stupid from a business perspective.
Agreed.
But yeah, overall, it's pretty fun. By the way, our next DCEU movie is Black Adam.
Yep.
which I again, the rest of these movies I enjoyed. I want to be clear. It's not like, oh crap.
Now, now we're gonna have a bit of a roller coaster in quality still.
Yeah. But none of them get into the crap area. I think.
No, they get close. They get close.
Flash gets kind of close, but it's like
Flash is by far the one that is eking it out.
Flash is the of the ones that we're going to of the last batch that we're going to discuss. Flash is the worst.
Yep, and I'll say Black Adam. It's definitely the most meh.
I would say that. Shazam is the one that I think should have done a lot better because Shazam was actually really fun.
Exactly.
But it's like, but yeah. So that's like that's the thing about the Suicide Squad. But let me ask you this, Robert: who's your favorite character in this movie?
Harley.
Why am I not so? Really? Why am I not surprised?
Really? Why? Why? You know.
I don't know. I kind of anticipated that.
Yeah, but if I had to go for a second, besides the obvious Harley, I'd say Bloodsport.
Yeah, me too. I just love the way you visualize the guns, the weapons coming off him. Mm-hmm. I love the helmet. He basically looks like a xenomorph. That's what he looks like.
He does. He really does.
And I'm like, okay, that actually looks really good. Peacemaker was okay in this, but if I can't pick Bloodsport, it's King Shark.
Oh, nom.
Nom. Yeah. Monster is nom.
Hand.
Yes, that is your hand. And I love where Ratcatcher 2 is like, what is that? It's an overhead projector. Do you use it? No. Why is it here then? I love that. I love
her sarcasm. Her sass.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I love the portrayal of the giant starfish. The problem is, unless
too fast.
Because I just wanted Starro to be the first villain in the Justice League movie, so that you could recreate the first Justice League cover with the League attacking Starro. Yep. If they don't do that, because there's a way you could bring it back. But if they don't do, if Starro is the villain of the Justice League movie and they don't do that cover as the movie's poster, what is
even the point? Exactly.
That is a wasted opportunity, bro.
Yes, it is.
Is Shark really a demigod? Because he's way too weak for a demigod.
He's a different kind of demigod.
Yeah, not all demigods are like Justice League level or Wonder Woman level power.
It all depends on how much power their parent puts into them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we agree to that, right? Like, it depends on how much of the power they put into them. Someone could be complete a-holes and be like, nah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
If I understand, his Naoe's father does not care for him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, to quote She-Hulk, everyone has daddy issues.
Exactly.
That was one of the best parts of that show, by the way. Or it's like Thor and Loki, same daddy, different issues. I love that. That's funny. But yeah, it's like, now how do you rate this movie out of 10, Robert?
Oh, it's almost an 8 to almost a 9, between 8 and 9.
I'll give it an 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5.
That's pretty much right by me. I just said between an 8 and a 9, so that's about me.
Yeah, because it's like, for a Suicide Squad movie, it's great. It's the reason why it's not like up there for me is because I typically don't read a lot of Suicide Squad. That's why.
True.
I'm approaching this as like someone that has played the game and read the comics, obviously. So I'm like, as much of a Suicide Squad, if I'm approaching this as a Suicide Squad fan, yep, this is awesome. Yep. This is awesome. And then NJ says his father is a Hawaiian god.
But that's probably another reason why, right there. Hawaiian gods aren't that powerful.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's because
Hawaiian gods, that means they're condensed to the islands.
Yeah, exactly.
Not much worship to get from them.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and
I know that I'm being partially joking, but the other part is, when you really look at it, there isn't that much worshiping going on there towards them, and worship is what equals power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, it's real. It's that's the point there. Yeah, it's one of those like yeah, but it's like the part that I really like about the character. And I was talking to Robert. While I'm not the biggest fan of stupid King Shark, here's why I excuse in this movie. That's just the way the character has evolved in every other iteration. So as
Believe
long
it
as
or not, no.
let me put it to you this way. I'll excuse stuff like this if it's represented in the current comics because that's what they're pulling from.
The funny thing is, he's not that old of a character. He came out in Superboy in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, so it's like this way. I excuse the stupid part because that's just the way the character is now. So it's like, you know what? Yeah,
I mean, look at him in the Arkham movie.
Oh, goddamn! That King Shark. I will say, King Shark had some of the best dialogue in the Suicide Squad game. Where he goes, "What are you doing, Shark? I'm smiling."
And I love the hat, like, "Hey, where'd he go?"
Or like when Batman first shows up and scaring everyone, King Shark just puts the invisibility hat on. He's like, "No."
He's like, "I'm gonna hide."
Or I love where Boomerang is like, "Go get him, Flash." That's good. I love that. But yeah, it's like and I like how Shark got the Superman costume. But yeah, it's like that's just again the way the character evolved. And again, character evolutions I excuse because it's like, look, that's the way it's gonna be. So it's like, all right.
Yeah, because they have rotated his intelligence.
Yeah, it changes a lot, so it's not like anything that I really have to like go, oh god damn it.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, so continuing on, it's like, now who's your least favorite character?
Ooh. What's yours first?
If I have to pick, I'm probably going to have to go with Harcourt.
Really? Harcourt, really?
Because she's just there. She really doesn't affect, because Economist plays a part in this.
All right.
He's just there.
Weasel.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll change mine. Weasel as well. He doesn't do anything in the movie, and he's just like there.
Yep.
He does even less than Harcourt does.
Exactly. He's just there for a joke.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I'll give you that. I will say this though. In fact, they had some cameos by some characters, like that guy whose skin turns into razor sharp cards. That's how EVS got a bunch of money, because that was a character he co-created. He's one of the people at the beginning. Oh, one of the people who dies?
No. When they're going to pick up all of them and locked up.
Oh, he's in the prison.
Yeah.
All right, that works. And it's like, apparently Max Lord is also Calendar Man. I'm only kidding. It's Calendar Man in the Witness Protection Program became Maxwell Lord.
Gains like it power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, but it seems he lost to Aquaman in KO. Yeah,
so,
that's believable. Aquaman is not only like the water.
He got power upgrade.
Yeah, this is not your typical Aquaman, and even pre-power upgrade Aquaman could take out King Shark.
Yep, exactly.
Let's face it, that's the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those things there. Yeah.
What?
But yeah, it's like. So it's like that's why I like excuse a lot of other stuff with that.
Now, can we agree with this? Until for the next batch of movies, this is probably the peak.
I kind of enjoyed Aquaman 2.
Okay. Between the others and Aquaman 2, this is the peak. Because none of the other ones come close. Not even Blue Beetle.
I'll tell you what. This and Aquaman are number 1. Shazam is number 2.
Then Blue Beetle.
Black Adam, I would say, is like 3, I would say. It's the most average.
All right.
Blue Beetle.
That's what I'm saying. I put Blue Beetle above Black Adam because I got more enjoyment out of it.
Blue Beetle 3, Black Adam 4, Flash 5.
Yep. So
That's
this
what I'll put
ties
it.
with Aquaman because in their own way, they're both the highest quality.
They both are freaking awesome. I loved both Aquaman
With the
movies.
exception of the Stinger scene on Aquaman, but we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, it's like, again, most, if you notice, Flash is the one that you can argue is like, oh God, but the other ones are like, they're either meh to that was freaking awesome.
Exactly. I want to put it this way. Like we said before with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was not so much atrocious so much as it was disappointing.
Again, 1984. Assume we're talking about 1984.
That's what I mean. 84.
NJ says the DCEU did Harley justice, but in the comics on the medium don't know they don't know what to do with her. Yep, I'll agree with you on that, NJ.
I'll give you on the Fart comic. I will agree with you on entirely. In other media, I'd argue.
Because here's the thing with that fart comic, and I said it last night on my Arkham stream. I'm like, look, I get that's like a common thing they did with Harley, like the fart comic, the weed comic. Here's the problem with that.
The weed comic worked.
No, but I'm against that, period. All of those, because that does not, like, because you don't know what to do with the character. So you're like, give her a gimmick book.
I just say this. Keep them with Palmiotti and Connor. They at least understood what they were doing with her.
Yeah. Now, I will say, at least the way it started off, the TV show did a pretty decent job.
Yep. Then they got too many creative liberties.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I would argue past season 2 is when it really started to go a little downhill.
That's when they were given a lot of freedom.
Yeah, and I was like, but yeah, it's like, that's the point. But so let me ask you, and by the way, Cameron says, I haven't gotten hate for this. I have gotten hate for this, but should she go back to the Joker?
No.
I don't think you need to do that. I would just say give her something to do that doesn't involve like weed or farts.
Exactly. Now the weed, again, that was a punchline at the end of that issue, to be fair.
No, but still, I still think if you want to highlight Harley, don't make her the gimmick book girl.
True. Don't make her the Deadpool. Don't make her the Deadpool. And
Tom King, don't make her take out the entire Trinity and then have Superman say, she's good, Bruce, maybe even better than you. I go, nope, that's not the way that works. And she says, bro, what happened to Punchline? You know what I think happened?
Leia Williams.
That, and what I think happened is, so Punchline was created because they wanted to have a Harley Quinn-like character be with the Joker, but that fell apart, and James Tinney's not on Batman anymore. So they're like, nope, we're done.
I think Leia Williams is the one who ruined her with that Gotham City Siren thing, where she's now catering to a bunch of incel simps.
Oh, you mean where she's a hot tub streamer?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I'm like, it's because Leia Williams looked at it and was like, okay, so she's a podcaster. Let's make her a streamer.
Here's the thing. She's not a podcaster. She's an influencer, which worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Her being an influencer worked. Her making her a hot tub podcaster, 0 cents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, no. And it's like, I read the first appearance of Punchline issue, and I'm like, okay, I can see the potential of her being a podcaster that, like, she's essentially a true crime podcaster that traces each of the, like, Joker's crimes. That's something that's actually very fascinating. That's a great, again, leave it to James Tynion to come up with a great character.
And then not only that, but also it be that she can use that influence to convince people, you know, the riot and everything while she's in prison.
So she's Hassan Piker. I'm only kidding. All she needs to do is shock a dog, and then she's completed that transformation. I had to make that joke. She's also a great chemist. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know what's funny? It became a meme during James Tynion's Batman, how many characters he created, but none of them were like crap characters. Under him.
Clown Hunter.
Okay, I'll give you Clown Hunter because it was
I'm sorry. If you don't give me, he left as soon as Ginny was gone. At least Ghostmaker and Punchline are still used.
Yeah, exactly. To varying degrees of success.
Oh, and who's the other one? The one that Wilson brought back in Poison Ivy. She and Ivy had a thing. Oh, what's her name?
Janet?
No, not Janet. No, she was that the black woman. She's oh,
I forget who it was. Okay, NJ says Molly 2 got vanished.
Oh yeah, duh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. It's like, but yeah, it's like most of his characters were actually pretty dope.
Miracle Molly was that one character, but it was who was it? The designer, was that who it was? No, not the designer, not the underbroker, not the first victim. Oh, who was it? Oh, I forget who she was. I know she was in. Hold on, I know where to look.
And then NJ says the same thing will happen with Sullivan or Matriarch as soon as King leaves. Oh yeah, ooh yeah.
The gardener. Okay.
All right, and by the way, hey Robert, she's right on the money here.
I will agree to that.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of
the gardener is who I was thinking of.
Yeah, okay. So speaking of Wonder Woman, I think it's time to do a little promo for Athena. So let's do that. We're gaining backers, so we're doing well there. So let's play the trailer. 3, 2, 1.
My home has been invaded, my people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Sintragar, Athena, the goddess of thunder, and this is my story.
So once again, consider supporting Athena on Kickstarter. I will leave the link in the chat for you all.
Yep.
There you go. But yeah, so it's like overall, it's like in terms of like going back to the Suicide Squad, this was the last good Suicide Squad thing we got. Let's face it.
Yep.
This was the last. Because after this, you got NJ says Matt Fraction also created a new female character who seems to be a villain.
Okay, I mean, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
So we'll see. That new Batman run is so good so far.
Yes,
I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far. When Bruce makes Tim think he's going to be driving the Batmobile, and he goes, "No, you're starting on this truck." I love that. But yeah. So it's like because after this, obviously after this, we got the game, which. Eventually, we may do a stream just on the story of the game. Now that there's like a degree of separation, but in the meantime, okay. So Black Adam's going to be the next week. Hell yeah! All right. So if there's nothing else, I think we can go ahead and start wrapping up. So Robert, where can we find you, and what have you got coming out on your channel?
Link down below. I just did my AVGN 8-bit game review today. I'm going to start game streaming Dispatch. And I still got a bunch more PTN going.
It's kind of funny, NJ. Robert and I are both blonde blazers for life.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I just like blonde blazer more. That's just she's Wonder Woman in this universe. Come on.
Pretty much. I mean, the only thing the other character, Invisigal has is that Laura Bailey.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way. Still not confirmed if it's actually a dating relationship you enter into by going to that movie.
Good point.
At least in the blonde blazer thing, they make it clear with you kissing her.
Yep.
Anyway, as for me, at about 9 p.m., Britt and I will be going live for Super Wonder Legacy, where we'll be talking about what would the wedding of Superman and Wonder Woman look like. And in terms of Amazon Answers, I'm talking about the Children of the Gods arc from DC Rebirth, one of a really good arc from Robinson.
Yep.
And For Wonder Woman Wednesday, I haven't really thought of yet what I want to do. And then there's already a war in this. I'm a BB fan. There's already a war between the fandom. Yeah, I know. The division is like nuts, in my opinion.
Wait, BB.
Yeah, Blonde Blazer.
Oh yeah, done.
But yeah, and so I'll be on a bunch of podcasts this week to promote Athena. Be sure to back it, or if you can't back it, at the very least, share it to someone that you think would be interested. But yeah, so we'll see you around, and stay heroic. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lame, and Steve Trevor, Steve Never. He belongs to General Zod. He belongs at the bottom of a hydraulic press. So is the Max the Bat for life. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.